Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Budget Tested, the series where we look at the cheapest tech we can find online and determine if it's good or not. And make sure to take my opinion very seriously. I went to college. So back in March of 2019, here on this channel, I took a look at a cheap HD capture card. For the cheap price of nearly $20 on Newegg, it was able to do absolutely nothing right. Recording on Xbox received multicolored glitchy footage, and recording on a Nintendo Switch yielded better results, albeit the resolution was low and the picture quality left something to be desired. As in, I desired for it to look better than it did. Anyway, recently I was looking on Amazon for another cheap HD capture card, just to see if there was anything that could outperform an Elgato 60, or even every console's own built-in capture device. Well, after a quick search, one will find tons of almost identical capture cards. This one ranging from less than $10 up to $20, for the same card, mind you. So I decided to take the leap and purchase the cheapest one I could find. For a whopping $8.99, $9.98 now, I purchased this beauty. 4K HDMI video capture card, cam link, card game, audio capture card, upgraded capture adapter, HDMI to USB 2.0 record capture device for streaming, live broadcasting, gaming, teaching, video conference. This is one of at least 6 virtually identical cards, each sold from a different vendor. On the bag it came in, it states that this is for recording video conference. It also states 4K. On the user manual that came with it, which I was surprised to get, it says to enjoy the vivid world. I don't know what enjoying the world has to do with recording video games, but I'll roll with it. The included instructions are surprisingly detailed and easy to follow. Looking closer reveals that the advertised 4K recording format is for the input only, so you can record your Xbox at 4K, but the actual video will be in 1080p. Well, 1080 is still good in my book, so we'll see if this card actually supports that resolution, unlike the previous one I looked at. Getting back to the instructions, this booklet actually includes the steps to connect this to OBS, which is a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. The device itself is pretty self-explanatory and basic. It looks like a USB flash drive in a way. On one end you can plug an HDMI cable into it, and the other is what you will insert into your PC. This will also serve as the output. Capture cards like the HD60S have separate HDMI out ports on them, so you can connect both to your PC and your TV simultaneously. This does not, but that shouldn't be an issue since the Elgato runs perfectly fine on my PC with no input lag issues to behold, so why shouldn't this? Enough talk about the thing itself. Let's get into the footage. Well, first things first, upon plugging the card into my PC and setting it up to record with Bandicam, we find that it does in fact record at 1080p, so there's a plus. Getting into games reveals that this is not 1080p, but it's definitely close. So what works as advertised and the footage quality isn't a dumpster fire. Let's start playing and, well, there's a lot of screen tearing here. And it's not subtle at all. Scrolling through the menu of the Nintendo Switch, look at how noticeable this is. I will say in certain games the screen tearing is more noticeable than others. For example, in LEGO Star Wars, I flew into hyperspace and we can just see a big line across the screen the entire time I'm flying. In games like Mario Kart, screen tearing is not noticeable at all. However, the frame rate seems to be struggling to keep up. The same goes for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Not a lot of screen tearing here, but the unfortunate reality is most games will have this issue present. Touching back on frame rate, the footage seems to be struggling to maintain a solid frame rate about 90% of the time. And since there's no way to plug an additional HDMI cable into this thing in order to see the game projected on a TV, I'm forced to play games this way if I want to record them. Screen tearing and frame rate issues present the entire time. Also, where's the audio? I don't actually have audio options here. Of course, this could be due to limitations with the recording software I'm using, so I'll try the recommended option of OBS. Okay, now we have audio. But I can only hear the audio if I play back the footage. I can't actually hear anything while I'm recording. So if you're one of those people who wants a device to be able to project your game console on your PC, you can do it with this, but you won't be able to hear anything. I kept the card plugged into my PC for over an hour, switching out and testing various games with it. And in most cases, these cheap Chinese capture cards usually start to overheat after about 30 minutes. I'm surprised to say this one didn't get too warm the more I used it. It actually stayed relatively cool, which was a nice touch. Suffice to say, I am actually quite impressed with this. There's definitely a reason that last card I looked at in 2019 is no longer available. Because I paid twice the price for it for a worse quality product. I would 100% purchase this one over that one any day if I was in a bind and needed a capture card for whatever. You have a really important live stream scheduled for Friday night, and your Elgato died, and the built-in capture card on your Xbox also died somehow for $10? You can't go wrong with this as a backup. 13-year-old me would have loved this back in the day, when I ran a YouTube channel posting Guitar Hero videos that I recorded with my parents' tablet, propped up against a stack of books aimed at the TV, which eventually inspired me to pick up this. the easier cap, which was the best $2 I ever spent. This thing has never failed me. But that's a story for another time. Join me next time on Budget Tested as I dive into another piece of cheap tech. You never know what you're going to get, but you can be sure it's cheap. Hope you all enjoyed this review of the cheapest HD capture card I could find on the Zon. I'm sure that's what the kids are calling it now. Amazon. I found it on Amazon.